town, Astoria. And they lived here. So there was 3 families.
Did they own the house, Fred, or were they renting the house?
I think they were just renting it.
And was your wife's name G-O-U-G-H? Was that her married name? Your wife's name you said was G-O-U-G-H?
Yes.
Was that her married name when she was married, or that was her maiden name?
No, her maiden name was Leslie. They were all the Leslie family.
Leslie family, okay. So that was her former husband's name?
Yeah.
Huh.
And she was a Methodist, and I'm a Methodist, and we got acquainted. And we were married.
Now how old were you and how old was she?
Well, the wife was 4 years older than I. When I was 21, I was married the last day, December 31st, 21. So I was 28 years old.
Just 28 years old.
And she was 32 then?
Yeah.
And she grew up in Port Townsend?
Anyway,
She grew up in Port Townsend?
Port Townsend, yeah.
Well, she must have been one of the original, she was probably one of the original families then, huh?
See, there was 3 daughters in this Leslie family and 2 sons. And one of the sons and his wife was a Norwegian. And they all lived here.
So you've lived there 64 years? You've lived in that house 64 years?
I think so, since 21.
What's the number of the house, Fred? What's the street number?
907.
907.
Well, I lived there, I lived there 47 years with my wife. She passed away in 68.
Did you have any children?
There was just one daughter by her first husband.
What was your work in Port Townsend? Where did you work?
Well, before World War I worked in a men's clothing store. It was right across, right downtown. You know where Dobby's is? Kitty Corner. I worked in this men's clothing store. We had men's white shirts for $1. Neckties 50 cents, 75 cents, and $1. I'm wearing one here that my daughter gave me. I think it was 6.5. We sold men's suits, blue shirts, all wool, 3-piece for $15. And we also would take measure a man for suit, have the suit made in Chicago. We would take his measure. In about 3 weeks, you would get a beautiful woolen suit. like the beautiful women that came out of England, you know. They picked out whatever they wanted for $25, tailored to measure. How's that?
A bargain.
Well, today, you don't see any suits like that anymore. So, in 1917 we went to war. And we had the first draft, I think it was in June 1917, the first draft in the United States. We registered for the draft where we voted. And over here on Tyler Street was a Redmond's Hall. It was a big two-story building. Two of my friends we went together at Medicine. And we were like 69, 70, and 71. Just as we registered, that was our number. Well, they spun the wheel in Washington, you know. And then if you found out, to find out whether you were drafted or not, you went down to the evening boat, which came in from Seattle. Not a ferry, a boat.
Anybody want some more? You want some more cheese?
And you got the Seattle Times, and you looked through pages and pages of numbers to see if you were wrong. So I worked for this Trozier up until December 1917. The second draft was coming in December. So I told my boss, I said, I just missed this first draft by the skin of my teeth, and I said, I'm going to join the Navy. So, on December 12, 1917, I went to Seattle and went to the naval office, had my physical, was accepted. My boss said, ask them if you can have a couple of weeks off to help me in Christmas, because it was hard then to get men. And so I asked for 2 weeks leave. My entrance into the Navy is December 12, 1970, with 2 weeks leave. So I came back and helped my boss till Christmas. Christmas Day, I had turkey dinner with my folks. On December the 26th, 1917, I was on my way to Seattle, and that was a December, rainy, windy December. He called the 40 men, and then he said, the rest of your men can fall out and go back to your tent. Okay. So then he said, you 40 men are going to go to school, to Navy school. You will have 3 days pass. You can go to the gate, your pass will be there, you can get out. So I went back to my tent and rest, and went down to the gate, went out, and got the streetcar, and that's way out by the University of Washington. Into town, caught the midnight boat, was home at 3 o'clock that morning.
It was a midnight boat, what,
Yes,
from
well,
Seattle to Port Townsend?
Not ferry. See, there wasn't many ferries those days.
Oh,
This was just a steamboat, and
Oh.
she left Seattle, Marion Street there, at 12 o'clock midnight. She was in here at 3 in the morning.
amazing.
At 3 in the morning, I was knocking at my folks' home.
Mhm.
The war, World War I, ended November 11, 1918. My class graduated in December. When I came back, they had a good shoe store downtown.
Oh,
And this man that had a shoe store up on the hill, my father had a business right there on Tyler Street. And I had just come back and this man came by. He said, would you like to sell a shoe store out? I said, yeah. I didn't quite understand.
you say the women had boots that
Oh, yeah.
laced all the way up their leg, huh?
Yes, and buttons.
And buttons, huh? And did you lace them for them when they were on their leg?
I'd been a button and a shoe.
Just to try them on. Then they'd say they'd like to try another one on, and that you had to unbutton them all and take them off. And put the.
That's right.
Well, Fred, wasn't
I sold shoes for 13 years there until the Depression went on. And that was in the 30s. Then I came up and went with my brothers. See, they had the store where it is there now. Well, in fact, they bought that building in 26. And my father never saw that store. He was over there for awards. That's where we were.
Hmm.
We were on the corner there where the service station is, where my father bought a man out that went to Alaska to the Klondike to dig gold. My father bought this store on the corner. But that whole block was burned in 1902, so we were burned out. Then they built the building where Ward lived, and we were in there for 1926. But my father passed away in 26, and then my younger brother took over the business, and we bought that building, and that was what they call the IOGT building. Not I often get tight. Independent Order of Good Temperance. They were a temperance society. And they had a mortgage on this building, and the man that had the mortgage lived over in Haddock. He had a boat on the ways, and the boat went over and killed him. So the two sons inherited the building. But they didn't want a building. All they wanted was some money to get going. So we bought the building, and we were in.
Did Aldrich's also sell groceries?
How?
What did they sell? They sold groceries and appliances?
We sold everything pretty much.
Oh.
We had plumbing, electrical.
Hmm.
If you couldn't find it in town, you could always find it in Malden. My brother had gone in with some other, this is my younger brother, had gone in with another man, and they started a meat market up in the next block. And then when we bought this new place, they brought the meat market down. My brother bought his partner out, and they brought it down. So that was run as a separate entity and with a separate tax number with the state of Washington. So that was one business, the corporation. And then my brother also started a furniture business. We had a furniture business on the 3rd floor. And so there was 3 sets of boots. And this fellow Jack Yard that has the furniture out there on Sims Way, well, he worked for us for 20 years in the furniture. This is coming into town. See, there's no Sims Way there yet.
Yes. Just F Street, I suppose.
They had a brewery in town. And this is one of the stores in town. Now this is a picture here. This is a Lincoln grade school, right here. That's where I went to school. I spent 6 years
Excuse me.
in that. In those days, they didn't start us early to school. I think I started when I was 8. So, I only spent 6 years in grammar school.
Well, there's 2 castles here.
Yeah, well,
This is
that
the-
was a big hotel.
That's Manresa?
No, Manresa is here. This is the old hospital.
And that's torn down?
Yes,
And that is...
they have the new hospital there now.
What's this? What?
That's Manresa.
This is Manresa?
I think so.
And what's this?
Well, that was a big hotel.
Oh. And that's torn down.
Yeah, it's the well, I think it burned. 7-day Adventists had it. See, here's the Olympic Mountain, and you're looking towards the west. This is the Lincoln School up there.
How high did you pole vault?
I went 8'9.5" in those days to beat the fellow, and I never went any higher. I beat the guy that was next to me, so I don't know how. In those days, we had no equipment, we had nothing. Sugar and coffee were, in World War II, were 2 of the first things that were rationed. In other words, you had to have a ration up to buy a pound of coffee. Well, at that time, we owned a warehouse downtown. I had 100 cases of 3-pound Gold Shield coffee. There was 12 cans to a case. It sold 3 pounds for $1. So that's $12 a case. So the salesman came in one day and he said, you know, you've got 100 cases of my coffee down there. He said, what are you going to do with them? Well, I said, I thought I was going to sell them. Well, he said, don't you know they're going to ration coffee? What are you going to do with a 3-pound can of coffee? A lady comes in with a ration stamp for 1 pound of coffee. And he lived in Port Townsend, and he used to come every week. So I said, his name was Jack Lewis. So I said, Jack, I said, I'll sleep on that. I'll let you know next week. So when he came next week, are you going to let me have the coffee? I said, no, Jack, I decided I'll keep it. Oh, you're crazy. You're just going to be caught with all that coffee. Well, we'll say today is the last day that you can buy coffee. Tomorrow, you have to have a government stamp. But it came to the last day there was no coffee in town.
Right.
And I'm sitting there with 100 cases. Well, all that day, I was jumping the truck, going down, loading coffee. There was a line coming in the store. Can I have some coffee? Yes. What have you got? Got a gold seal. 3-pound can. Can I have one? Can I have two? Can I have a case? Well, a case was only $12, and that's 36 pounds. Can I have 2 cases? Can I have 3 cases? Sure. Well, up to, I think, about 11 o'clock that night, there was a lineup coming in the store.
11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he wanted you to sell him the cases, right?
Well, he wanted to make a profit on himself.
Sure.
That was in World War II. See, my father had, they called it a racket store. There was something like maybe a 5 and 10. And he had lots of toys and books and magazines and candy and fruit, all kinds of things like that, and also textbooks for schools. Before, the schools had free textbooks, the people had to buy their readers, arithmetic, spellers. We had all those. So that was 1895 when he bought this fellow house. So we were in continuous business from 1895 because when my father took sick right around maybe 23, he passed away in 26, and my younger brother took over the store. And up to that time, both of my brothers had been working in the canneries of my sister's husband. And then they both came back home and took over in the store. Well, the second brother, this Clark, he went into banking. And he first worked in the Merchants Bank of Port Townsend, which was owned then by the United States National Bank of Portland. Then they sold out to the First National Bank. And the First National Bank sold out to Seattle First. So that's how we have Seattle First in here.